So welcome again, everyone. We This is the fourth lecture. So again, we can have a quick recap. In the first lecture, we discussed about slope. How to find the slope, angle of inclination, other stuff. Second lecture was more about equations of straight line. Third lecture was more about the application part, like parallel lines, perpendicular lines, angle between two straight lines. Now we're going to the next lecture. That is, in that we will be discussing a few more detailed concepts, that is position of a point with respect to a line. So if you are done with the chapter linear inequalities, what you would have come across is that if you take this line, there are three reasons means there will be some points which are on this side, there are some points which are on this side, and there are some points which are on the line. So on the lines will give you what? 0. These points, if one value, if you substitute, if one coordinates you substitute in this line, and if it is giving positive, you will see that all these points on the left hand side is giving you positive value, and all these points will give you what? Negative value. The best example to understand this is, see, like y-axis. So y-axis, what is the equation? X equal to 0, isn't it? You take any point on this side, any point means all these x coordinates will be positive, isn't it? So you can see, like, when you substitute on the expression, which expression? Ax plus by plus c. Okay, you will see that all will give you positive answer. And if you take all these points on this side, so here x coordinates are negative, all these values will give you what? Negative value. Okay, so here you should be very much clear with this, that we are not substituting in equation, we are substituting in the expression. Which expression? Ax plus by plus c. Okay, so if one side, one point is giving positive, means all the points on that side will give you positive answer, and other side, if it is giving negative, all the points will give you negative. Okay, so now let L, Ax plus by plus c, and P and Q be 2 points not on the line. Then both the points will be on same side or opposite side. If so, what basically it is very easy to understand. Yes, suppose this is a point P whose coordinates is x1 comma y1, and Q is, let's say, x2 comma y2. Is it okay? So if you try to analyze here, what you try to analyze, that if you evaluate these values, means in the line equation, in place of x you write x1, in place of y you write y1, and in place of c will be c. Okay, you evaluate this value. So if this quantity is coming positive, this quantity also will be positive, means ax2 plus by2 plus c also will be positive. If the first one is negative, the other one also will be negative. So mathematically, how we can represent this information? That their product has to be positive. So that's the reason we got ax1 plus by1 plus c into ax2 plus by2 plus c will be greater than 0. The product will be greater than 0. Okay, either both will be negative or both will be positive. If they are on opposite sides, so if one is positive, other one will be negative, so mathematically the product will be what? Negative. Okay, so here this is much in detail. If both the points are on the same side, you can see product will come positive. If both the points are on the opposite side, the product will come negative. Okay, how we can prove it? So one way is using the distance, we can show. Okay, so once we do a little bit more in detail, where I will be discussing the perpendicular distance of a point from a line, there I will discuss that why positive or negative will come. Okay, okay, so next we have is, so we have, let's do a quick question on this. Find whether 1 comma 1 and 3 comma minus 5 lies on the same side or on the opposite side. So what will you do? You will substitute 1 comma 1 in this left hand side. Okay, so substitute 1 comma 1. So 1 minus 2 minus 10 clearly is less than 0. And 3 minus 5, so 3, 2 into minus 5 and minus 10, which is clearly greater than 0, isn't it? So you can see, like, the first quantity is less than 0, second quantity is less than 0, so the product will be less than 0. So what is the conclusion? That both the points will be on opposite side. Okay, now let's see a application of, like a question where we can mix trigonometry with straight line. So they are asking, find the range of theta in 0 to pi. So this information is not needed, such that the points 3 comma 5 and sine theta comma cos theta lies on the same side of this line. So first I will check 3 comma 5 what value it is giving. So when I substitute 3 plus 5 minus 1, it is clearly greater than 0. Means when I substitute sine theta comma cos theta, that also should give you what? Positive. It means what? Sine theta plus cos theta minus 1 has to be greater than 0, or sine theta plus cos theta is greater than 1, isn't it? So we can divide both the sides by 1 by root 2. Why we are doing it? Because this was explained in trigonometry, or you would have come across in trigonometry. Now left hand side you can see like sine theta, this we can write as how much? Cos 45 degree. This 1 by root 2 we can write as how much? Sine 45 degree. So like sine a cos b plus cos a sine b can be written as sine a plus b, and this is greater than how much? 1 by root 2. Okay, if you know a little bit of a transformation of graph, or in trigonometry it would be taught that what you can do, if you substitute theta is equal to minus 45 degree, it will become 0, isn't it? So start the graph from here, and then it will go, it will go, it will go, it will attain maximum, and then it will attain, it will be something like this. Okay, assume it is something like this. Okay. So now what is this angle? So this is theta equal to 0, isn't it? So what is this coordinate? This is 0 comma 1 by root 2. What is this angle? So this angle will be 45 degree, because when you substitute 45, 45, 45 will be 90, and value will be 1. Then similarly if you take this value, this coordinate is going to be what? 90 degree and 1 by root 2. Why I wrote all these values is because see, you are solving, this is one in function and this is another function. So you draw the line y is equal to 1 by root 2. Okay, y is equal to 1 by root 2. Is it okay? So which portion of the graph you want? Which portion of the graph you want? You basically want this portion, isn't it? Because this is the portion when sine theta plus 45 degrees is greater than 1 by root 2. Okay, or by basic substitution also you could have calculated, like if you substitute 45 sine 45 theta equal to 45, 45, 45 is 90, and sine 90 is clearly greater than 1 by root 2, isn't it? So this theta has to be greater than 45. So when 45 will come when theta is 0, isn't it? And it should be again less than theta maximum value. So if you take theta is equal to 90 degree, 90 plus 45 is sine 135, and sine 135 is again how much? 1 by root 2. What exactly I mean is, see like this, you draw normal sin x graph. Okay, this is normal sin x graph. Think like this, there will be somewhere y is equal to 1 by root 2, isn't it? Y is equal to 1 by root 2. So you think when 1 by root 2 will come? When this angle is how much? 45. So total part you want 45, isn't it? So theta should be how much? 0. And what is this angle? This angle is 135. So when this will be 135 when theta is 90. So our answer is theta has to be greater than 0 and it has to be less than 90, and both will be open. Okay. Now this is a very good question based on this concept. What it is? Find alpha if alpha comma alpha square lies inside the triangle having the sides along this. Okay. So I would say pause again the video and try to think if you can come up with some idea to solve this problem. I'm going straight into the problem. So method number 1, which is little calculative and I will not be doing it. So what concept we are applying here is, suppose this is the triangle. Okay, this line equation is 2x plus 3y is equal to 1, x plus 2y is equal to 3, or x plus 2y minus 3 equal to 0, 2x plus 3y minus 1 equal to 0, and 6y minus 5x plus 1 equal to 0. Okay. Now my question is it possible for you to find out the vertices? Answer is yes. So all these line equations and you can find the vertices, isn't it? So as of now, let's say I'm telling, I don't know what is the exact coordinate, but you can figure out what is the coordinates, isn't it? So let's say I'm telling this coordinate is p comma q. Okay, now you are telling that there is a point alpha comma alpha square lies inside the triangle. So like let's take this point as p, which is alpha comma alpha square, Now, by keeping BC as the reference, if you take BC as the reference, can you see like P and A are on same side? Are on same side? Like both are in this direction, isn't it? So if they are on same side, what condition will be satisfied? You substitute the coordinates of A and substitute the coordinates of P, and the product has to be greater than 0. So you will get one condition. Is it okay? But this is not sufficient. Why it is not sufficient? If you take P here also, alpha comma alpha square, still that condition in this solution, this will also include this case. Why? Because still the P and A are on the same side, isn't it? But you can clearly see that P is not inside the triangle. Is it okay? So we have to apply a second condition. What is the condition? That again C and P are on the same side, and similarly B and P are on same side. So once you ensure that A and P are on same side of BC, similarly B and P are on same side of AC, and C and P are on same side of AB. If you apply these conditions, this is sufficient, and you will ensure that the point lies inside. But I can see a lot of calculations are involved here, so I would say that I will solve with the second method and I will give the final answer. You try to solve this using this method and see if you are getting the same answer. Okay, but logic I hope is clear. Okay, so now let's go to method number 2. Method number 2. What is method number 2? So let's take this diagram again. Now I would say that, is it possible to plot this graph? Okay, not completely, as at least the rough sketch. Okay, so I'm trying to plot this graph roughly. So what were the equations? The first equation is 2x plus 3y minus 1 equal to 0. Other equation is x plus 2y minus 3 equal to 0. And the third equation is 6y minus 5x plus 1 equal to 0. Now see here. So one we will use red color. Okay. Other one we will use blue color as it is, and third one we will use purple color. So first let's sketch the red one. Put x is equal to 0, so y is how much? 1 by 3, somewhat here. And put y equal to 0, so x is how much? 1 by 2, so 1 by 2 will be somewhat here. So let's draw this line. Okay, then similarly we can draw this blue line. So blue line, what we have is, put x is equal to 0, so y is 3 by 2, somewhat over here. And put y0, so x is equal to 3, so 3 will be somewhat over here. Okay, clearly these lines are not parallel. Okay, so when you try to sketch it, it may come something like this. Okay, it may come something like this. Okay, and then so when you extend this, they will go and meet. So a small change we can do. I can tell this line to ensure that they intersects little bit here itself, let's say. Okay. So basically don't need complete sketch, but more or less the rough sketch is enough. Okay, and then we have the third line, that is the purple one. So when you put x is equal to 0, y is minus 1 by 6, so and y0, so x is equal to 1 by 5, so the graph will be something like this. Okay, so no problem, we can name it as A, B and C. Now my question is that, can you spot here that origin, okay, origin, and let's say the point P is alpha comma alpha square. Okay, P is that point whose coordinates are alpha and alpha square. Can you see that about the line AC, origin and alpha square are on the same side, isn't it? It means they are on the same side. It means what? The product has to be greater than 0. So in the blue line, if we substitute 0 0, we got how much? Minus 3, isn't it? So if it is, so when we substitute alpha and alpha square, you can write alpha plus 2 alpha square minus 3 has to be what? Greater than 0. Why? Because both are on the same side. So when you multiply by this minus 3, you get a condition like 2 alpha square plus alpha minus 3 is less than 0. This is factorizable. 2 alpha plus 3 into alpha minus 1 less than 0. So we know for a quadratic, if less than 0 is there, it is in between the roots. So minus 3 by 2 and 1. This is the way we curve, isn't it? So alpha belongs to minus 3 by 2 to 1. Okay. Similarly, if you see, can you see about the red line? This is about the blue line. Okay. Blue line. So we can change this also. Blue line. Now we are solving about the red line. Okay. Red line. So about the red line, can you spot here again that the origin and the point P are on the opposite side, isn't it? So if you substitute 0 0, it is what? Minus 1 into alpha square. So we got 2 alpha plus 3 alpha square minus 1 has to be they are on the opposite side, isn't it? So this will be less than 0. When you divide by minus 1, again you got like 3 alpha square plus 2 alpha minus 1 is greater than 0. You can factorize this also, 3 alpha and then here plus 1 and here minus 1 greater than 0. So when you solve this, again it is what? It is minus 1 and 1 by 3. So anything after this and anything before this. So alpha belongs to minus infinity to minus 1 union 1 by 3 to infinity. Okay, and the next we can solve it for what? Purple line. Purple line. So purple line is this. I can do one more thing. I can make everything red for it to be more distinguished. This we can make everything blue, and this we can solve itself with purple color. Okay, so now again what you can see that the origin and point P are on opposite side. I guess, and no, they are not on opposite, they are on the same side, isn't it? So when you substitute 0 0, you got 1. So when you substitute alpha and alpha square, you got like, be careful here, it is 6 alpha square minus 5 alpha plus 1 is greater than 0. So when you figure out, this is 3 alpha minus 1 and this is again 2 alpha minus 1 greater than 0. So when you mark the roots are 1 by 2 and 1 by 3. So something like this, isn't it? So alpha belongs to minus infinity to 1 by 2 union 1 by 3 to infinity. Now between the cases, what we should do, we should take the intersection, isn't it? So mark the roots again on a number line. Okay, and plot. So somewhere minus 3 by 2 is there, somewhere 1 is there, somewhere minus 1 is there, somewhere 1 by 3 is there, and somewhere 1 by 2 is there. So what is the blue line telling? Blue line is saying that okay, anything between minus 3 by 2 to 1 is acceptable. So make an open circle here. Second guy is telling that okay, no problem, from minus 1 till minus infinity and 1 by 3 to infinity is okay. This is which line? This is the red one, so let's make it red. And the third guy is saying is that okay, minus infinity to 1 by 2, minus infinity to, that's okay, right? Okay, so minus infinity to 1 by 2, and then something is wrong in this. Yeah, this is, see here there is a small correction. This is 1 by 3 and this is 1 by 2. 1 by 3 is smaller than 1 by 2, isn't it? So this will be 1 by 3 and this will be 1 by 2. So this guy is telling that till 1 by 3 and then from 1 by 2 to infinity. So our question is intersection, isn't it? Intersection means what? Common reason. So you can see this is the reason where all three of them are present and this is the reason where all three of them are present, isn't it? So what is the final answer? Final answer is alpha alpha belongs to minus 3 by 2 to minus 1 union 1 by 2 to 1. So that is the required answer. Okay. So this is a good question. Okay, and one part method one already I have told, so you can check it out. Okay, now let's go to again small concept, that is length of perpendicular from a point on a line. So imagine that there is a line L whose line equation is ax plus by plus c equal to 0, and there is a point p h comma k. So we want length of perpendicular, or sometimes we also said distance of a point from a line. So you think like this: wherever you are sitting, you imagine there is a, in front of you there is a wall, and if I ask you what is the distance of you from the wall, so basically it does not make any sense, because many answers will come, isn't it? It depends at how you are measuring it. But if I ask you what is the shortest distance from the wall, so you will get a unique answer. Okay, what exactly I mean, suppose there is a line here and there is a point. So let's say this distance is 5. So I can still have another point here such a way that this distance will be 5, isn't it? By making an isosceles triangle. But if I ask you, let's say this perpendicular distance is 4. So you cannot say, you cannot find any other point where also the distance will be what? 4. Okay. Means the perpendicular distance is going to be unique for a point from a line. Okay. So now first thing comes the formula, and then we'll see the proof. So what the formula says, let's say the P is h comma k, or let's say x1 comma y1, and the line is, let's say, ax plus by plus c. So this perpendicular distance PM is given as mod of ax1 by1 c divided by root under a square plus b square. Means what we did, in place of x we substituted x1, in place of y we substituted y1, and we divided by root under a square plus b square. Whatever this value will come, that is going to be the required perpendicular distance. Okay, we can verify whether this formula is correct or wrong. So you think like this: do you remember I told you that ax plus by plus c can be 0, can be converted into normal form, and what was the equation? What was the equation? It was ax by a square plus b square plus by root under a square plus b square, which is equal to minus c by root under a square plus b square. And what was this? This was the perpendicular distance from origin. Okay, I'm now thinking like this: this line equation is what? This line equation is ax plus by plus c equal to 0. And I am asking you, can you tell me what is this perpendicular distance? So according to the formula which I have taught you, now what will you do? You will write mod of, in place of x 0, so 0, in place of y 0, so 0, so c divided by root under a square plus b square, isn't it? So modulus can be written as a what? Plus c or minus, it depends on whether c is positive or negative, isn't it? So moreover, when I'm talking about the perpendicular distance, you can see here also we got answer mod c by root under a square plus b square. Here also we got answer mod c by root under a square plus b square. It means this is just a verification that this method will work and it will give us the right answer. Okay. Now sometimes in the class what students say is that, sir, but ax1 plus by1 plus c1 can be written equal to 0, isn't it? So you can't write equal to 0. Why? Because the point does not lie on the line. If the point does not lie on the line, how it will satisfy the equation, isn't it? Now let's see the proof. So there are two proofs. One proof we will do with the help of trigonometry, and the other proof which is given in the NCERT. So let me show the NCERT proof first. Imagine that the line equation is ax plus by plus c equal to 0. So you convert this equation into the intercept form. So if you remember the conversion, send the constant on the right side and divide by that constant along with the sign to ensure that right side is 1. So we used to get something like x by minus c by a plus y by minus c by b is equal to 1. So x intercept is minus c by a comma 0, y intercept is 0 comma minus c by b. And let's say p is the point h comma k. Now if you connect p, b and a, you can see there is a triangle, isn't it? Okay. So all the three coordinates p, a and b, isn't it? So with the help of the triangle coordinates, you have learned in 10th standard how to find the area of the triangle. Half into x1 into y2 minus y3. I hope you know. half mod of x1 into y2 minus y3 plus x2 into y3 minus y1 and plus x3 into y1 minus y2. Okay, so you take the 3 points and substitute here. Okay, so I have substituted here. You can get inside the calculation and we can verify one by one. So I would say that better you do it on your own. Okay, so when I did this evaluation, I got left hand side as this. Okay, but area of the triangle is also half into base into height, isn't it? So I am treating this quantity as height and the base as AB. So what is the length of AB? Using Pythagoras theorem, we can calculate root under c square by a square plus c square by b square, isn't it? So we are equating the area of the triangle found using the coordinate system and area of the triangle using half into base into height. So once we evaluate this, we got PM is equal to how much? The height is equal to mod of AH plus BK plus C divided by root under A square plus B square. What is AH plus BK plus C? So in place of X, we substituted the X coordinate, which is H, and in place of Y, we substituted the Y coordinate, which, okay. I hope it is clear. Okay. I mean, simple funda is, proof is not needed, but if in case you are at all interested, simple thing is write the area of the triangle using the coordinate system, write the area of the triangle using half into base into height, try to equate them, you can find the height. Okay, now let's see the trigonometry part, how we can prove this. So think like this, the point P is h comma k and the perpendicular distance of the point P from this pink line is d. Okay, and let's say when the line equation is given, we can always find tan theta, isn't it, which is minus coefficient of a by minus coefficient of x by coefficient of y, which is minus a by b. Okay, now if this angle is theta, okay, and from D I have drawn a horizontal line and I have drawn a vertical line. Okay, so can you see that this angle also will be theta, y it will be theta, alternate interior angle, isn't it? Now in the triangle PQR, in the triangle PQR, I am interested in knowing what is PR. Okay, so I can write sine theta, isn't it? Sine theta is equal to what? PQ by PR. PQ is what? D. PR is PR. So we got PR is equal to how much? D by sine theta, or which we can also write as D cosec theta, isn't it? So what is the coordinates of R? R is a point on a horizontal line. So we know on horizontal line the y coordinates will be same, isn't it? So we got coordinates of R as what? H plus minus D cosec theta comma K. You can wonder like, why we got minus. So you think a situation like this, same setup. If the point P was here, so you draw a horizontal line here, isn't it? So your x coordinate is decreasing, isn't it? So in that situation, it will be what? H minus D cosec theta. In this case, your x coordinate of R will be, x coordinate of R is greater than x coordinate of P in the first case. But in the second case, you can see like x coordinate of P is less than x coordinate of R. So that's the reason one time it will be plus, other time it will be minus. Now, so R coordinates are what? H plus minus D cosec theta comma K. Also, you can see that R lies on the line, isn't it? Means R will satisfy that equation. Which equation? The given equation, ax plus by plus c equal to 0. So substitute this. So we got ax plus by plus c equal to 0. When we simplify, you got something like, ah plus or minus ad cosec theta plus bk plus c equal to 0. So this guy you can send on the right side. So you got how much? You got like plus minus ad cosec theta is equal to minus of ah plus bk plus c, or what is d? So you can divide both the sides by plus minus a cosec theta. So we got minus plus, because there is a minus on the right side. So minus plus ah plus bk plus c divided by a cosec theta. But in the question, nobody will give you cosec theta, isn't it? The only thing that you know is h comma k and abc. So we have to figure out what is cosec theta. So tan theta is what? Tan theta is a by b. So you can complete the triangle and you get hypotenuse as root under a square plus b square. So if tan theta is minus a by b, cosec theta will be what? Cosec theta. So it will be hypotenuse by opposite, which is root under a square plus b square by a. So a cosec theta is how much? Root under a square plus b square. Is it okay? So we can substitute this value in this equation. So we got how much? D is equal to minus plus ah plus bk plus c by root under a square plus b square. But anyway, we want distance, isn't it? So we will not bother about plus minus. We can take just modulus, so we got mod of ah plus bk plus c divided by root under a square plus b square. Okay, so without much delay we can quickly see a question. Let's say they're asking find the perpendicular distance of 2 comma 3 from this. So simple thing, take modulus, in place of x 2, in place of y 3 plus 3 divided by root under a square plus b square. So 1 square plus 2 square is 5. So we got 3 to is 6 plus 3 9, 9 plus 2 is 11. So we got 11 by root 5. Okay, this question in the class sometimes students will do wrong. Okay, what normally they do is they will do the first part correct. They will write like, okay, minus 2 by 4 plus 5 by 3 minus 9 mod divide by root under. They end up writing 4 square plus 3 square. But you have to understand a is what? A is coefficient of x, and coefficient of x is how much? 1 by 4. So you will write 1 by 4 square plus 1 by 3 square. So this calculation you can take care on your own. Simplify this, whatever the result comes, that is the required answer. Okay, fine then. So remaining part we can see in the next lecture. Thank you.